Hey everyone, JagTagger93 here with another Doom 2 WAD 2 review. This one is called Decastle by Sophie Kirschner. This one is a September 2018 release, and it is pretty interesting. It has very good progression, and the gameplay is pretty solid, but aesthetically I just wish there were some frills here and there. The description is really what made me download this one. The description in the reading file states that, quote, "The Illuminati did it again. A small adventure in a haunted castle. Tested with Xandronum, please don't jump or crouch." So yeah, that description is really brief, but what caught my attention was the word haunted there. Haunted castle, so I was hoping for a very immersive, maybe even a creepy experience. I mean, you know how much I love my thematic, creepy maps. And unfortunately, that's really not what I got here. I got a very fun map, and we'll get into that very, very soon, but not one that was entirely immersive. So I'm going to start with the good on this one. I really like the progression. The progression is great, you get a good sense of space with this map, but the progression is very linear and very easy to follow. It's very, very, very hard to get lost here, which is nice. Especially with the progression of enemies as well. Enemy placement is really this map's strong suit. You get very little ammunition to start off with. Sure, you get a super shotgun, which helps you dispatch the bull demons, imps, lost souls, and other enemies like that in very short order. It's very tempting just to run and gun right through them all, but again, there's very little ammunition at the beginning. Now, I played this in Ultraviolence, maybe the experience is a little different on their difficulty levels, but really I enjoyed the Ultraviolence experience the most for that reason. Having to prioritize targets, especially enemies that don't drop ammunition, having to be perfect with the super shotgun, only use 2 shells to bring down a bull demon that's in your way, no more, and it was a great experience overall, gameplay-wise, gunning through the enemies. The pacing of the map, again, is very good as well. There is very little pause between fights, and the fights are very nicely placed. Great mix-up of enemies as well, too. Oftentimes, you'll come to a room and you'll have, say, soldiers in the far away that'll hit you with their hit scan weapons. But then you'll have bull demons or imps between you and them, so the bull demons and imps make as great bullet shields for the hit scan zombie-type enemies. So, that said, there's a lot to like. What I didn't like to the map, though, was that even though there's a great progression to the map, there's no real punch at the end. There's no real big encounter, there's no real sense of a boss fight, nothing like that. And the enemies, when they appear, they're usually in very, very predictable spots. And again, I can't help hammering on this point, but the description said this was a haunted castle. And I won't argue with that. It's definitely a castle. Great job by the author putting in some new textures here and there to deliver that theme. But there's not enough pieces here to really convey the idea that it's a haunted castle for me. Emphasis on haunted. Some more dynamic lighting, a bit more darkness here and there, some more decorative bits and bobs, especially corpses as well, and blood splatters would have helped really convey the idea of a haunted castle. Of course, demonic imagery as well. I mean, this is Doom, so wouldn't it be, that's kind of to be expected in something like named Haunted Castle. When I first played it and noticed how bright some of the areas are, especially in the beginning, I thought that maybe I wasn't running it on the appropriate source engine, so I switched source engines, so that's why when you're looking at the gameplay to this review, you're seeing gameplay from both GZ Doom and Xandronum, but no, it didn't really make a difference which engine I used. Both of them looked way too bright to really convey this theme that I was hoping for that's really not there. Now, granted, the author's intention may not have been to deliver something that was entirely immersive. They were probably just out to deliver a map that, was very fun to play, very little ammunition, force the player to make decisions about what enemies to engage in when, and make those decisions based on where the enemies are. Are they more likely to chase down the player or not? Are they enemies that drop ammunition or not, and so on. And for those reasons, I'm not going to penalize this map too hard for not being immersive, because again, very clearly not the goal. And look at the goal of the map, which was to provide a good, fun experience, and for that, Decastle earns an 8 out of 10 for me. I'll even throw in a ghost or 2. Again, I really wish this was more of a haunted castle, but throw in 2 extra ghosts for a score of 84%. Don't ask, that's how my math works. It's overall what you need to know, though. This is a fun map and worth a download and a playthrough. It has a moderate challenge on Ultraviolence. You might die once or twice, but it's worth it. Definitely play on Ultraviolence when you get it. And that's all I really have to say about this one. Thank you all for watching. This is JagTagger93 signing out. If you liked what you saw, please leave me a like, but especially a comment. I always love talking to other map makers or other players in the community. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.